I was just telling myself I'm never gonna work 9 to 5. But I end up working 8 to 12 or 2 o'clock at night. But it never felt like I'm working. So that's one of the hard work actually helped all of us to get us where we are right now. Well, I had a big scholarship to come here, which I could not refuse. It was like $150,000. Who wouldn't take that?
Yeah.
Because I'm just a student that time. I'm just finishing my master's, started my PhD, and I have this offer.
And was it a scholarship for research and development? Or?
Yeah. So I had a bunch of publications done during my master's. So that was one of the reasons that I got the scholarship for. So I could not say no. And I also wanted to do something big and better than what I was doing in South Korea. I did work with Samsung LG a little bit here and there, this project, that project, but I did not really see the end, where I'm going with that.
Yeah, the end results, you kind of worked on some more specific things, but didn't get to see it from start to finish all the way through. Yeah.
Well, I would say first 2 years, when we started from my basement, was basically we had a bunch of old computers. I think we have a picture somewhere. 2-3 computers. One we were running as a server, and we were I had 2 other programmers working here. Hassan was working from Bangladesh. So we started developing tools and see what we can do. We had few website development projects here and there as client, but our intention was to build products before we get to market. We were working on this, working on that. Bunch of different things at the same time. Some projects we finished, we've never been able to market. Some projects are still sitting.
What are some examples of some of the projects you were working on at that time period?
One example, so we built one website for one local auto dealership. So that was one of our basement project basically. We didn't have Cansoft office that time. So that's the auto parts store we did. So with that one, we were doing that. The client, they have some specific requirements which requires extraordinary level of programming and stuff. Luckily we had some programmers that time, and me and Hassan, we designed a whole thing how you can actually run and operate auto dealerships, starting from your shared inventory to your whole operation of the business as well. If you have multiple locations, you can do that. And also my background is a little bit of AI, artificial intelligence. So we use some AI techniques to learn user behavior that time. So that's what we put in that system. So now we are talking to some companies here, trying to market it, because it's never been done after us. Nobody else get to that level of intelligence with car dealerships. So I think it's time that we can actually partner with someone to get it to the market.
Yeah, that's what we can call ORM now, right? That's what you're talking about?
ORM is the online reputation management tool. We are talking about ICD, the Intelligent Car Dealership, we're calling it.
Oh, okay.
ICD is that tool, that's the basement project. ORM is, we started after Megan joined.
And so the ICD never went to market?
No.
And is it still something that you have?
It is, I think it is a valuable product, because car industry is never going to die, right? It is something let's say today we have a trend for oil and gas, tomorrow we have trend for IT, but car industry is something for last 200 years maybe, or more than 100 years at least. People are into car, and it's you can use it. And the funny thing about that is also the user preferences to learn the user behavior, the algorithms we used in that system. We can actually use that in any other industry. We can use it for, let's say, for our fishing store clients. We can use this for, let's say, platinum recreation store clients, because it is a learning algorithm. Right?
Yeah.
So based on your, let's say, we're learning what type of color you like, what type of car you like. Do you like SUV? Do you like? So based on that, instead of you browsing through, let's say, hundreds of different cars, we're giving you a preference for 5, and you like one out of that. So that's and we are not also stealing data or securing any data. It's just instantly learning your behavior, 1 to 3 clicks. You see 3 cars, I'll give you 5 cars. You must like one out of that.
Yeah.
And also with that, we worked with shared inventory system. So let's say you don't have any car in your system, but if you know any dealership, or if you have a partnership with some dealership, let's say based out of Saskatoon, right? So, but you are able to bring that car for the customers. So instead of like let the customer do less work.
Yeah.
Because what happens with that is, like, let's say you have your own inventory, you have 100 cars, but if you're connected to it 5 other dealerships, you can bring like thousands of cars on the same website.
Yeah.
Right? So you just have a shared inventory, and customer, they don't need to know. And more data you have the more opportunity to get the customers. You can make a deal with the other dealership, like, okay, how they want to operate, what percentage they are going to give you, or like that's the business side of it totally. But technically, it's the ace of the system, right? So the intelligence is basically learning your behavior, your interest. So 4 of us, we took us about 6 months to finish the whole project. And then like the design part, like the front end side is not really that critical, or like you can change the design anytime as long as it's functioning system, right? One thing I would do definitely, try to be like smart in terms of partnership, because that's a big thing. Like a lot of people, they lose everything when they make a bad decision and dependency of someone else. Like our first thing was like we were always self-dependent in terms of like whatever money we were making, right? So let's say you make $50,000 a month, right? But if it is not self-dependent money, because your expense also follows you, right? So when we are making that much money, you are spending also like that. So your expense follows you. And if you get into a situation when you have a bad partnership and it happens that you lose your revenue, you don't really lose your expenses. So that was like a big struggle for us. Like we have all these employees that time. Like all of a sudden we lost our revenue because of a bad partnership. Most businesses, like any business, they always focus on profit. So I think that that's a wrong aspect for any business. Like say even if you open a restaurant, instead of making good food, most people, 85% to 90% business in Canada, they fail after like in 6 months or 2 years maximum they go. The reason is they don't focus on quality. They don't focus on like, let's say I'll make good food, I'll make good name, and then we will establish. So one of the strengths we had, like we were never giving up. Doesn't matter what happens, we are not giving up.
Yeah, you're just doing it for joy more than anything.
And we don't care if we make money or not. If you do something what you have passion for, like money will come on the way, along the way. Like if you really good at it, something. Like if you're good at something, like keep doing it. Like there is nothing more than hard work. Like you need hard work and you need dedication. Like you'll fail 1,000 times. Right, so like even from our like office structures, like let's say I started from my basement, then all of a sudden we got into a big office. It was shared, but still. Then we went back to basement, and so now we have one of the nicest office in Regina. We are studying in Vancouver too. So like there is ups and downs, but you gotta stay still. Like you gotta be like, oh okay, no, I'm not moving. This is my life. You have to consider this is my life. This is not my job. You can't take business as a job. If you take business as a job, like you'll make money probably a certain time if you get lucky. Otherwise, no.
But you won't find the joy that you're looking for.
Exactly.